before the puppets rise, before the shadows appear on the screen, and before any character speaks, there is silence. And in that silence, my culture prepares to communicate. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Marinlee, Auramadina, a regional literature student majoring in Javanese literature. Today, I want to take you into a part of my heritage that has shaped the way my community thinks, communicates, and defines identity. Wayang. Wayang is one of Indonesia's oldest cultural traditions. It is a system of communication that existed long before printed books, microphones, or digital media. Throughout history, Javanese people learned that ethics, philosophy, and social norms not from formal institutions now, but from the messages embedded in wayang performances. At the center of each performance stands the dalang, a communicator who must master dialogue, humor, history, logic, psychology, and timing. He takes on multiple voices, multiple roles, and multiple perspectives. Through him, wayang becomes not just a performance, but a comprehensive method of conveying values across generations. Each figure in wayang carries distinct symbolism. For example, Arjuna, with his controlled demeanor and careful decision-making, he models a discipline and strategic thinking. Sri Kandi represents competence, courage, and leadership, showing that strength is not defined by gender. Samad, for example, through humorous and humble, reminds the audience that wisdom does not always appear in authoritative forms. Even the colors on the puppets also serve as communicative functions. Take the color gold, for example. It indicates nobility, and red reflects intensity or conflict, and black represents stability and inner strength. See, the stories they represent, whether from the Ramayana epic, the Mahabharata, or even local karangan narratives, they all contain lessons about responsibility, loyalty, justice, and these moral complexity. So these narratives are not merely old tales, they are frameworks for thinking and evaluating human behavior. But wayang's communication goes beyond spoken dialogue. It uses an advanced system of nonverbal communication that audiences instinctively understand. The angle of a puppet's head, for example, can show respect or defiance. A calm, slow movement can signal wisdom or reflection. A rapid, unsteady movement suggests panic or internal conflict. But even the pauses between movements are also meaningful. It signals emotional transitions or shifts in power. So for centuries, ladies and gentlemen, communities relied on these nonverbal cues to interpret social relationships and hierarchy in real life. The gamelan accompaniment reinforces the emotional tone. As we can see, the gamelan is guiding the audience's perception without a single word. It's just music. This shows how deeply communication is embedded in cultural practices. It's a multi-sensory, layered, and intentional. And even so, today, wayang is more than just a Javanese tradition. It has become part of a larger cultural movement across regions and even countries. In Singapore, wayang is adapted for educational and cultural initiatives. Wayang Potehi, rooted in Chinese tradition, is performed across Indonesia as a symbol of multicultural unity. Even Wayang Amerika, a modern reinterpretation created by international artists, show how wayang has become a global medium for storytelling. So, ladies and gentlemen, these variations prove that wayang is flexible, adaptable, and capable of bridging people from different backgrounds. It serves as a form of cultural diplomacy, communicating Indonesian values to international audiences without needing political speeches or official declarations. Through wayang, people connect, they learn and understand one another's perspectives. In the present day, the efforts to preserve wayang are still very active. Organizations such as Sanawangi, the Secretariat Nasional Wayang Indonesia, they coordinate preservation initiatives, promote wayang education, and maintain collaboration among cultural practitioners. Take Museum Wayang in Jakarta holds hundreds of historical puppets from various regions. They function not just as a display, but as as a research center and documentation hub. So these preservation efforts demonstrate that culture does not survive automatically. No, it does not. It survives because communities chose to protect it. They study it, adapt it, and pass it on. As a student of regional literature, I see Wayang not as an artifact, but as a living system of communication that continues to influence how we think, speak, and interact. Wayang teaches that communication is not limited to language. It includes gesture, symbolism, its shared memory, and the willingness to listen. It reminds us that culture holds the power to unite people, to teach values without force, and to communicate across generations without losing relevance. So, today I stand here not only to celebrate Wayang, but to remind us that cultural communication is essential for our identity and our future. The shadows on the Wayang screen may seem simple, but they carry centuries of knowledge, reflection, and dialogue. And as long as we continue to study them, preserve them, and share them, Wayang will remain a powerful testament to who we are. When the lamp is lit, the screen brightens, and the first figure moves, Wayang begins to communicate. And its message is clear. Culture survives when we choose to keep it alive. I thank you for your attention. That is all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.